What happens when humanity's brightest source of life slowly becomes its victim? We worship the sun. We celebrate it. We write poetry about it. But what if I told you that even the sun, the star that has burned for billions of years, has been altered, damaged, and distorted? Not by cosmic forces, but by us. The question is chilling. How could fragile humans possibly ruin something as mighty as the sun? For as long as humans have walked this planet, the sun has been our lifeline. Ancient civilizations built entire religions around it. The Egyptians honored Ra, the sun god, as the giver of life. The Mayans aligned their temples with the sun's path across the sky. Even today, solar calendars dictate our lives, our seasons, and our harvests. Scientifically, the sun is a G-type main sequence star. An ordinary star, yet extraordinary for us. It's been burning for about 4.6 billion years and will continue for another 5 billion before transforming into a red giant. It fuels photosynthesis, drives weather, and makes life itself possible. Without it, Earth would be a frozen wasteland drifting silently in the void. For billions of years, the sun has shone unchanged, indifferent to the rise and fall of species. Dinosaurs lived under its glow. Primitive microbes bathed in its warmth. And then came humans, with their technology, ambition, and arrogance. The sun's relationship with Earth was once perfectly balanced. Its radiation gave us light and warmth, while Earth's atmosphere shielded us from harmful ultraviolet rays. Nature evolved to use the sun, not to fight it. Plants grew in tune with daylight cycles. Animals migrated with the seasons. Human skin developed melanin as natural protection against ultraviolet light. Our ancestors lived by the rhythm of the sun. Farmers woke at dawn, hunters timed their journeys with the day's light, and travelers looked to the sun for direction. The bond was sacred and reciprocal. The sun gave, and humans respected. But balance never lasts when greed enters the picture. The turning point came when humans learned how to bend light to their will. At first, it was simple. Sundials, lenses, magnifying glasses. Then we discovered firepower and concentrated sunlight. And later, solar energy. On the surface, it looked like progress. But behind it, a darker reality emerged. We began filling the skies with pollution, weakening the ozone layer, the very shield that filtered the sun's harmful rays. Suddenly, the sun wasn't just life-giving. It was dangerous. Skin cancer rates skyrocketed, heat waves grew deadlier, and the seasons themselves began to shift. And perhaps the cruelest twist of all, the sun, once a symbol of beauty and health, became something to fear. We smother ourselves in sunscreen, hide behind glass windows, and speak of the sun not as a blessing, but as a threat. Let's take one example that shows this betrayal clearly. The ozone hole. In the late 20th century, scientists discovered that chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, chemicals used in refrigerators, air conditioners, and sprays, were tearing holes in Earth's ozone layer. The ozone layer is a thin, fragile shield high in the atmosphere that absorbs most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without it, the sun's rays became merciless. Rates of skin cancer rose, cataracts blinded people, crops weakened, and in places like Australia and Antarctica, the sun was no longer the same life-giver. It was a silent killer. Think about that for a second. The sun hadn't changed. It was us who tampered with the filter. We created a world where the same star that kept us alive now burned us alive. It's like a stained glass window in a cathedral. For centuries, the window softened the light, painting the world with warmth and color. Then someone smashed the glass, and suddenly the same sunlight became blinding, unbearable. The sun didn't grow cruel. The protection we destroyed made it seem cruel. Or think of it like a parent-child relationship. The sun was a parent, nurturing us endlessly. But through neglect, we turned that love into harm. The warmth that once felt like an embrace now feels like punishment. The consequences are staggering. The World Health Organization estimates that over 60,000 people die annually from excessive UV exposure, primarily due to weakened ozone protection. The Earth's average surface temperature has risen by 1.2 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century, amplifying heat waves linked directly to climate change. In 2022, parts of Europe recorded temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius for consecutive days, leading to thousands of heat-related deaths. And here's the irony. While we hide from the sun's rays, our technologies, fossil fuels, industrial emissions, are fueling the very greenhouse effect that traps the sun's heat inside our atmosphere. We are not just ruining Earth. We are rewriting the way humanity experiences the sun itself. Sometimes, I sit outside on a summer afternoon, feeling the sunlight on my skin. There's still a part of me that wants to embrace it the way my ancestors did, to see it as pure, healing, eternal. But then I remember the warnings. Don't stay out too long. Don't forget sunscreen. Don't look directly at it. We turned something divine into something dangerous. We took the symbol of joy, children playing under the summer sky, farmers blessing their crops, and replaced it with headlines of heat-stroke deaths and UV alerts. It feels like betrayal, but not from the sun, rather from ourselves. The sun did nothing wrong. We are the ones who broke the balance. And maybe that's the saddest truth. In trying to conquer nature, we ended up making our greatest ally into a perceived enemy. So here we are, a species staring at the sun with fear instead of reverence. We damaged the shield, we altered the climate, and now we live under a star that feels harsher with each passing year. The question is no longer whether humans can ruin the sun. They already have, at least for themselves. The real question is, how long before we ruin our chance to ever stand in its light again? Because one day when we look back, we might realize that the sun didn't abandon us. We abandoned it.